Hey all, here OS Reviews. You're watching our unboxing and first impressions look at the Lenovo E1. This is a budget smartwatch that sells for just $40, and it's the same price as the Xiaomi Mi Band 4, but promises more features. Namely, it actually has built-in GPS, just like the Amazfit Bip, which allows you to actually run and perform outdoor activities and track your route on a map without bringing along your phone. It has a 1.33-inch IPS LCD display. The frame is made out of a zinc alloy material. It's waterproof, can last up to 25 days in standby mode, which is a pretty insane metric, and also has 7 different sports activities that you can track. It does have an optical heart rate sensor and also claims to give pretty precise sleep tracking metrics as well. Now, this isn't Lenovo's first foray into the world of wearables. Earlier this year, we checked out the Lenovo Watch 9, which was pretty successful for a budget device, but this was a hybrid smartwatch that doesn't even have a screen, in fact. This is really their first smartwatch that has a larger display. And it is technically using Bluetooth version 4.2, I believe, as opposed to the latest Bluetooth 5.0 standard. It's not quite as crucial as, say, on a pair of TWS earbuds, but Bluetooth 5.0 should technically prolong the battery life even more. So maybe that will be something in the next generation to consider. And then underneath here, we have the proprietary charging cable. It is using a magnetic pogo contact system that should attach onto the rear of the watch like so. Finally, we have the instruction manual that is telling you how to download the companion app and how to access the various features like blood pressure measurement, blood oxygen level, so on and so forth, but these are just going to be estimated. Alright, so taking a closer look at the watch first, my initial impressions is it's a pretty small and portable design. As a quick size comparison with the aforementioned Amazfit Bip, you can see that they're pretty similar. The Lenovo watch is a little bit larger. It's also slightly heavier because it's using a metal construction as opposed to a plastic like on the Amazfit. So this does feel a bit more premium in terms of the material. And it also has a curved 2.5D glass on the display, which gently tapers off at the edges, and there's a key on the middle there that you can tap on to navigate its UI. So it does seem that this will be not a fully touchscreen watch like the Amazfit, but you have to tap on this one button to cycle through the different features. Now, long holding on the middle key for a few seconds actually turned the watch on, so it does seem to have a little bit of juice, and the wallpaper here by default has the Lenovo logo and the time and the date. We indeed tap on this key to navigate the UI because the screen itself is not touch sensitive. There's one here for sports, and you can probably long hold to enter into the menus, which we'll see later. Tap on it again to see sleep, hours slept, light versus deep sleep, once more for measuring a heart rate, long press to measure, once more for starting your training, so that's probably walking. Over here we also have messages and notifications once connected to your phone, using it as a remote selfie button, and one for controlling the music on your device, and for other. So over here it seems like we can change the style of the watch, but there isn't really a way to visualize what style we're actually selecting, which is a little strange. But let's say style 2 and see what that looks like. I can go back, and now the watch face has changed into this. It's a bit more simple. And here's that third watch face, which is included by default, also showing off the colors, calories burned, heart rate, and number of steps. Everything is also a bit animated on the sides, and I'm sure you can find more watch faces after we bind it to the companion application, but 3 are on here by default. So overall, pretty easy to use. The animations themselves do look quite smooth. There's not too much delay as we're navigating around. There's also a basic stopwatch that we can see under extras. We can mute the watch. We can also reset it, turn it off, or change the display brightness. Right now it's at the moderate level, but we can make it brighter if we are outdoors and it's a little harder to see. There isn't an ambient light sensor, so it can't change the brightness automatically. The companion application is called Lenovo Sports, so it's a different app from the Watch 9. I can tap here to bind our watch. So it's going to tell us from the main interface our number of steps, the time that we've been active, sleep in terms of hours, heart rate. You can turn it on to take a measurement once every hour, and it will be continuous in tracking your fluctuations every second during a sports session. You can also see an outdoor running, in which case I will use the GPS. Now over here I can also take a look specifically at my watch in terms of the battery percentage remaining, and I can also change the watch face. It seems like we can edit this current watch face in terms of changing the color of the text, so I can make it a different shade, and you can also select a different picture for the background. Say I like this photo, I can actually zoom around and crop to a region that I would like to push over and keep as the watch face. Let's just do something like this. Tap on confirm, and now this is what the watch will look like. I can now change the font to perhaps something that's a bit easier to see, such as yellow. And I can change the time position to above or below the screen, so shifting it around. And I can also change the time to something else, such as sleep, for example. That's going to show hours that I've slept as opposed to the date, or I can show number of steps if I want that instead versus just date. So you can change this bottom row to what information you want the most. And there we have it. The new wallpaper has been pushed over, and the display is actually quite good in terms of its sharpness and detail, surprisingly. So anyways, it seems like you're also able to see the weather now after I've synced the information with my phone. So I just got an additional page or widget to display, and then cycling back onto the main watch face. Now, by the way, there is also a notification LED light on top, such as now, for example, when it's switching to a new wallpaper or whenever you get a new notification or firmware update. I can also add an alarm, at which time the watch will vibrate to try and wake you up. I can open up the selfie remote control mode to begin taking images, and under others, I can also do things like find my watch, in which case the watch will now vibrate. I can tap on the button here to confirm and stop it. And out of the box, I haven't seen a software update yet. It says it's on the latest version, by the way. So that's basically the app. It's quite simple and straightforward, but seems to be rather functional and gives you basic statistics at a quick glance. Of course, we'll be doing a lot more testing of the Lenovo Watch E1 over the coming days in terms of how it performs for its accuracy, its sensors. So be sure to stay tuned for a full review coming out soon. But for now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been our unboxing and first impressions look at the Lenovo Watch E1.